Cosmic Energy Secrets Overview. Hello everyone, welcome to Cosmic Energy Secrets. This is Owen Coleman here and I'm going to introduce you to your amazing and powerful gift within the next few pages. Yes, your amazing gift, because it is present in each and every single one of us here, and it is a supreme power a human being can ever have. The secret is that each of us possesses this internal power which can restore our vital health and promote well-being, something which the doctor will never tell you about because it would jeopardize his living. The gift I'm talking about is none other than Reiki, or also known as Reiki healing, and it is a talent all of us, including you, can easily tap into if we just know how. So, in Cosmic Energy Secrets, I will share with you the essential knowledge of Reiki healing, why you ought to learn it and the basic principles and techniques involved in this incredible process. Let's get started on this remarkable journey right now. 5. Origin and History. Why learn Reiki? Reiki is a healing practice which was founded by Mikao Usui way back in the 1900s. Mikao Usui, a Japanese Buddhist, was born on August 15, 1865. Born into a privileged class, Mikao Usui was highly educated and graduated with a doctorate in literature. The scholar spoke several languages and was well learned on subjects such as medicine and philosophy. He also traveled extensively overseas. Although Mikao Usui was a practicing Buddhist, his memorial stone indicates that the man was also knowledgeable in Christian and Taoism scriptures. According to an inscription on the memorial stone, Mikao Usui taught Reiki to over 2,000 people in his lifetime. Because of his interest in the healing arts and spiritual matters, Mikao Usui conducted extensive research and learned much. During the 1920s, Mikao Usui embarked on a 21-day practice at a Buddhist center at the foot of Mount Karamayama, and it was there that he had an unusual experience which thereafter changed the course of his life. During the early hours of his last morning on the mountain, Mikao Usui noticed a light in the dark sky. 6. The light was moving rapidly in his direction and he was unsure whether to move out of the way or stay put. The light finally came closer and seemed to hit his forehead. Mikao Usui started seeing strange symbols before his eyes. As the symbols appeared, the knowledge about each symbol also manifested in his mind. By the time the astonishing revelation ended, daylight was well in its way. It was as if nothing had changed. Mikao Usui was still at Mount Karamayama, but the spiritualist knew something momentous had happened in his life. Excited about the insight he received about a powerful healing method, Mikao Usui swiftly developed the method. On his return to Tokyo, Mikao Usui started practicing the healing technique on the people closest to him. As he expanded his treatment and started offering his newfound skills to those in need, the new and amazing healing method gradually gained widespread popularity. 7. In 1921, Mikao Usui opened a Reiki clinic in Tokyo and he started official classes to teach Reiki to students. In 1923, a devastating earthquake tore through Tokyo and resulted in a death toll of over 140,000 people. With destruction on such a major scale, the whole city was thrown into total shock. Homes were destroyed, people were rendered homeless and scores of survivors seriously injured. At that point in time, Mikao Usui gathered his students together to offer Reiki treatment to the injured. He even opened a large clinic in 1924 outside of Tokyo to handle the throng of patients seeking Reiki treatment. Due to this, Mikao Usui fame spread all over Japan, and the incredible healing capabilities of Reiki reached even more people. In 1925, Shujiro Hayashi, a retired naval officer, became another of Mikao Usui's students. However, he only studied with the Mikao Usui for only 9 months when the latter passed away unexpectedly of a stroke in 1926. It was from Shujiro Hayashi that knowledge of Reiki came to the West due to his treatment of a Japanese-American woman, Hawayo Takada. After recovering from her illness, Hawayo Takada became a student of Shujiro Hayashi and from there onwards, she spread word and teachings of Reiki, first in her hometown Hawaii, and then to the rest of America. 8. Besides healing, what are the other benefits of learning Reiki? First of all, Reiki is a very simple hands-on healing art. You don't need fancy and expensive equipment to use the art of Reiki to heal. Secondly, Reiki healing helps to restore harmony and vitality in the body and promotes emotional, physical and spiritual well-being. You will realize in time that positive changes in your fast-paced life will make it more meaningful and fulfilling. In the globalized world of this century, the ability to keep stress at bay is becoming critical to a better quality of life, something which Reiki is more than capable of doing. The best thing of Reiki is that besides healing your own self, you can effectively heal others too. So, don't hesitate. Come understand more about the beauty and mystery of Reiki. 9. How Reiki works. 1. The attunement process. In the Usui system of Reiki healing, attunements are considered as the core of the teachings. In the process of learning Reiki, the body system has to be aligned in such a way that a new pathway is created for the energy to flow. The process involves a precise technique which combines specific mantras and symbols to create that special connection to receive universal life force energy. The attunement process must be conducted by a qualified Reiki teacher in order to be certain that the connection and energy is pure and complete. Once you have received a Reiki attunement, you will have Reiki for the rest of your life. This Reiki force is with you and does not wear off. 2. The meditative posture. Accordingly, Mikao Usui instructed his students to recite the principles of Reiki more in Chapter 3, twice a day, if possible, in the traditional Japanese Seiza posture. However, the Seiza posture imposes considerable strain on the muscles and it may be difficult to sustain it for any length of time. Instead, the meditative posture, which relies on the Gassho position, may be used. Gassho means two hands coming together. This particular meditative posture allows for the hands to be in a position to help focus and still the mind in meditation. Here are the instructions for the Gassho position. In a kneeling, sitting or standing position, bring both hands up to the level of the heart. Place both hands together as if in prayer. Palms are not pressed together, but with a little space between them. Hands are kept relaxed. With meditation, you learn how to both quiet and sharpen your mind and also to focus on the energy flow to engage Reiki healing. 3. The breathing technique. In our existence, as with other living beings, breathing is a fundamental behavior of survival. We might be able to live without food and water for a few days and still survive, but we cannot ever survive without breathing. From the day we are born to the day we leave this world, breathing is one continuous span of activity we need to do. In addition, breathing is crucial to maintaining the state of mind. 11. What happens when you are agitated or angry or experiencing an intense emotion? Your chest tightens. Stress is imposed on breathing and it becomes shallow and faster. These symptoms are also closely associated with hyperventilation and panic attacks if taken to the extreme. In fact, when we are anxious or in a state of anxiety, it affects the energy circulating in our body. When the energy circulation is affected, we are unable to draw more energy into our bodies, and hence suffer health ailments and the like. In order to prevent that from happening, here a breathing exercise to improve energy circulation within the body. 1. To begin, place hands on the abdomen or the chest so that you may feel the movement of breath. The exercise can be done in a standing or prone position. 2. Exhale through your nose in a gentle and gradual motion. 3. At the end of the breath, tighten your stomach muscles. 4. Feel your diaphragm muscles push up as you exhale. Push out as much air as you can from your lungs. 5. Relax the stomach muscles. 6. Inhale naturally and draw the air into the abdomen. 7. Once you feel that your abdomen is full, exhale and repeat from step 2 onwards. 12. Practice this gradually until you find that you can breathe easily in this manner while you are in the meditative posture. This breathing technique can also be utilized in your daily routine, which would help greatly in maintaining energy levels at work and personal life. 4. The mantras. Mantras are words or sounds which are repeated as a form of meditation. They are usually more associated with various religious and spiritual practices in the world. What makes a mantra powerful then, when many people use it on a daily basis? Well, it is essentially a combination of the power of the mantra, the focus on the chant, and the effect on the breathing which makes the mantra produce a powerful transformation in the practitioner. With regular practices, chanting mantras give practitioners spiritual insights and a sense of connection and well-being. Reiki also has its own mantras. Reiki mantras form from the names of the 4 symbols introduced at the 2nd and 3rd levels. However, they are not strictly words, but rather sounds which can invoke cosmic vibrations. Here one way to practice the Reiki mantra. Sit in the Seiza posture or normal sitting posture. Place the palms of your hands on your knees. You can also place hands in the Gassho position if preferred. Breathe in through the nose. As you exhale, recite and speak the mantra clearly and correctly. 13. The 5 principles of Reiki. In order for positive change to occur in life, a change in attitude is fundamentally necessary. Knowing this, Mikao Usui specially created 5 principles for this purpose. Implementation of the 5 principles in daily routine will basically increase the quality of the patient life, and subsequently enhance the healing process when Reiki is used. The principles are as follows. First principle, for today, do not be angry. Anger creates disharmony within the body. Of course, this does not mean you should deny your feelings, because that is equally unhealthy. Rather, convert the negative emotion of anger into a positive emotion, into that of love. How does anger contribute to disharmony? Anger happens in situations when the outcome is not in our favor or does not live up to our expectations. In extreme and sustained situations, anger can lead to medical conditions such as high blood pressure. However, anger can be controlled when we are self-aware of our own emotions and the consequences of manifesting particular emotions. In this case, what we can do to reduce anger is to respond with love. Be aware of what the emotion is doing to you when you eat in the midst of it. Develop a detachment from the anger and observe it as if it is something separate from you. When that happens, you are able to behave more rationally and react without judgment. 14. With awareness, anger can powerfully affect outcomes. With awareness, love can diffuse a difficult situation. When you allow Reiki healing into your body, the blockages in your body made of anger will be effectively removed. Second principle, for today, do not worry. Like anger, worry is another negative train of thought. Yet, worry is very common among people. In fact, if you look at it, worries are entirely unproductive because they are wholly unhelpful and do not contribute favorably to the outcome. The energy expended on worrying can be better employed elsewhere. In the case of Reiki, worry can actually affect the outcome of the treatment. So, what can a person do so as not to worry excessively? Firstly, we live in a responsive universe. When we are able to clarify what the heart desires, our needs will be met. When we trust in the outcome, we allow the universe to make it possible. Everything is a responsive action and effect. What about unexpected situations? Then, when something beyond our control happens, we ought to take a step back and form a detached perspective on the situation. When you allow worry not to encroach excessively into your life, you are living a better quality of life. Third principle, for today, be grateful. 15. Practicing gratitude is a very good way to instill good habits in life. When we reflect on what makes our lives special, we learn to appreciate the little joys around us. And when we learn to appreciate things in life, we understand how incredible life is, in all its entirety and diversity. By taking a moment each day to encourage the feelings of gratitude, a powerful shift in attitude occurs in the mind. With a grateful outlook, it frees the mind from the shackles of the past and welcomes abundance. When you feel overwhelmed by life and work, take a breather and appreciate and reminisce about the good things in life. When you feel and express gratitude, you can bet that happiness, prosperity and success will find a way into your life. Fourth principle, for today, work honestly. This principle is about your honesty towards yourself in the things you do. Be true to yourself and be honest in your dealings in life and at work. Support yourself and your family with honest and respectable work. When you fully align with your life purpose, you be doing something which is fulfilling and enriching. With that, you earning an honest living. 16. Exercise. Answer these questions as honestly as you can. 1. What are you putting up at work at the moment? 2. What are the things about work you frustrated about? 3. If this week were your last week on earth, would you be happy about the way you spending your time at work? 4. What is your ideal professional and personal scenario? Fifth principle, for today, be kind to every living thing. The last principle looks at the bigger picture of our world, not just restricted to the people in our lives, but expanding to every other living thing. The easiest thing to do is to look at everything in a non-judgmental way. Learn to take positive actions towards everyone you meet, or any other living thing you encounter. Observe those around you in a positive light. Be kind to one another, and view the world with a loving heart. As you look at the world with a positive outlook, the same world responds to you in kind. 17. In all, focusing on these 5 principles paves a powerful start to the journey of learning Reiki. No knowledge of Reiki is required for the principles to be effective in your life. Why not try them out? Integrate them into your life. Focus on one principle at a time so as not to overly tax the mind and self. Be creative about implementing the principles. You will find that you will develop into a person with a more positive outlook in life. This positive outlook not only benefits your Reiki abilities but also paves the way for a more meaningful change in you. 18. Self-treatment. One of the greatest gifts which Reiki can offer is the ability to effectively heal ourselves, and also to align ourselves with pure energy. Reiki self-treatment is powerful because practitioners can draw the Reiki energy from the surroundings. We are merely the channels for the energy. Is self-treatment only necessary when one feels unwell or sick? Well, no. As long as you feel depleted of energy, or you feel that you require an extra boost of energy, self-treatment can be utilized for those purposes. Before beginning self-treatment, some prior preparation work is required. A special place in your home has to be created, a place where you can completely relax on your own, without any unnecessary distractions. This room or place ought to be away from the hustle and bustle of activity. It would be good if there is a sunlit window in the room, or the favorite armchair, something which exudes comfort and ease. You can convert a garden shed into the sanctuary, or partition off a corner of your study. The bedroom is also an option, where you can gain some peace from the world whenever required. Be creative about generating the ambience for self-treatment. The lighting can be softened to an appropriate level. Soothing and soulful music may be played. You could try scented candles if you like fragrance. Importantly, make the sanctuary as inviting as possible. Anything that may enhance your self-treatment process. Once you are ready, begin your self-treatment with the same respect and reverence you would when treating others. Silently pray for Reiki to flow into and through you. You may also pray for your Reiki guides, angels and the Creator to be present and direct the self-treatment. 19. Treating others. After you practice the self-healing treatments until it becomes natural and second nature, you may begin working with others. Confidence is the utmost ingredient in your decision to treat others. After all, who would consult a nervous and hesitant physician? So, make sure you are positively sure and confident before you begin. Start with family members and friends first. Even if they don't have any ailments at the moment, Reiki energy will benefit them and bring them relaxation and harmony. When giving a treatment or session, make sure the person is feeling comfortable before beginning. Explain the various hand positions of Reiki you will use. Depending on the circumstances or the nature of the problem, all 12 basic hand positions may be used or only one. In addition, full treatment may last up to an hour. Again, depending on the situation. Short treatments may be more appropriate when the person is in pain or cannot remain still for too long. In circumstances where the person has been given anesthetic, for example in surgical operations, it may also not be appropriate because Reiki would allow increased awareness and might not be helpful at all. However, Reiki can be used to speed up healing in a post-operation situation. During the course of the treatment or session, it is best to discontinue if the patient indicates discomfort. 20. The hand position self-treatment. A Reiki treatment simply consists of hands being placed over parts of the body, like the eyes, face, and heart and so on. There are no complicated rituals to follow. At this point in time, there is some distinction in Reiki self-treatments in that some masters rely on intuition for their hand positions while some others follow the routine positions. Here are the basic hand positions. Position 1. Position of hands. Place hands lightly over the forehead, eyes and cheeks. Take care not to restrict your breathing in any way. Treatment benefits. Cold symptoms, headaches and stress are relieved. Improves focus and clarity, and enhances decision-making abilities. 21. Position 2. Position of hands. Place hands around the temple. Treatment benefits. Headaches and migraines are relieved. Allows the release of depressive symptoms and reduces stress and worry. Also enhances creativity and memory abilities. Position 3. Position of hands. Hands to cradle the back of the head. Treatment benefits. Anxiety, Depression and stress symptoms are relieved. Recommended for nausea and pain relief. Also acts on headaches and migraines. 22. Position of hands. Hands are lightly cupped over the throat and along the jawline. Treatment benefits: sore throat, swollen glands and symptoms of flu are relieved. Metabolic disorders and weight issues are addressed. Anger and hostility are regulated. Communication, confidence and self-expression are instilled. Position 5. Position of hands. Place hands over the heart. Treatment benefits: heart palpitations and other heart disorder symptoms are relieved. Blood circulation is improved. Pent-up emotions, fear and stress are released. The capacity of love is greatly enhanced. 23. Position 6. Position of hands. Place hands below the chest and over the lower ribs. This is the solar plexus position. Treatment benefits: anxiety and apprehension symptoms are relieved. Confidence levels, inner power and security are improved. Clarity to decision-making process is provided. Position 7. Position of hands. Hands are placed over the abdomen. Treatment benefits: inner balance and harmony are restored. Negative emotions such as anger, bitterness and frustration are calmed. 24. Position 8. Position of hands. Hands are placed over the pelvic area. Angle your hands so that they follow the groin. Treatment benefits: weight problems by speeding up release of toxins are addressed. Feelings of frustration and fatigue are reduced. Confidence and creativity levels are improved. Sexual issues are addressed. For women, treatment relieves menstrual symptoms. For men, treatment helps prevent prostate issues. Position 9. Position of hands. Hands are cupped over the knees. Treatment benefits: fears of change and feelings of insecurity and resentment are relieved. Emotional balance is regulated by reducing emotions of anger. 25. Position 10. Position of hands. Hands are placed at the base of the neck. Treatment benefits: muscle tension and neck problems are relieved. Migraines are prevented. The ability to love and be loved is enhanced by such treatments. Position 11. Position of hands. Hands are placed over the top of the shoulders. Treatment benefits: the tension stored in the shoulder region is released. Stress is relieved. 26. Position 12. Position of hands. Hands are placed around the waist and lower back. Treatment benefits: feelings of anxiety and self-criticism are released. Difficult situations will be looked upon in a positive manner. Allergy and stress symptoms are also treated. Position 13. Position of hands. Hands are placed over the base of the spine. Treatment benefits: this treatment is excellent for reducing stress and backache and hip problems. Creativity is enhanced. Negative feelings and thoughts are relieved. 27. Position 14. Position of hands. Hands are placed over the feet. Treatment benefits: the feet are soothed and nurtured. Energy blockages are treated effectively. The mind is calm and grounded. Position 15. Position of hands. Hands are placed over the soles of the feet. Treatment benefits: because the sole contains the reflex zones for all the organs in the body, treating this part will give an energetic boost to the whole body. 28. Making time for Reiki. Reiki healing is a very effective technique even when time may be of a constraint. While a full treatment of an hour or so is ideal, just 15 minutes of treatment can make a whole lot of difference. No matter how busy you are, Reiki can be fitted into the busiest of days. Requiring only a pair of hands, they are the perfect antidote to restoring depleted energy. On that note, it is best to balance yourself with Reiki before it develops into a full-blown ailment or disease. With a restored mind and clarity, clear thinking can go a long way. For instance, preventing accidents when you eat, driving or operating machinery. In fact, some people self-treat themselves with Reiki during the lunch break, and they realized that they feel calm and alert for the rest of the day. Whether you eat traveling on the plane, sitting at a desk, waiting for an appointment or while the baby is sleeping, there is usually some opportunity. Here are some recommended hand positions for areas which are commonly distressed like the head, the heart and the stomach. Hand position 1 head. Hand position 5 heart. Hand position 7 stomach. Whatever the case, learn to be resourceful. As long as you can disappear for about 15 minutes, There you have it, an opportunity to do some Reiki healing of your own. 29. What next? We now come to the end of Cosmic Energy Secrets. I hope you found this guide on the secrets of the remarkable art of Reiki very informative and useful. But that is not the end of it. In fact, it is only the beginning of a miraculous journey to apply the power of Reiki healing in your life to restore health and well-being to yourself and to others. This is Owen Coleman, wishing you all the best in your endeavor in Reiki healing.